Thank you for watching Gear Discussion, brought to you in part by VanHalenStore.com. Please be sure to subscribe.
Hi, this is Glenn Mazzari, and you're watching EVH Gear Discussion with Eric Broadbent.
Hi guys, Eric Broadbent here. Welcome to a Tuesday evening edition of EVH Gear Discussion Live. Coming to you tonight to show you a little bit more insight on this EVH Wolfgang Special Japanese model. A couple of videos I've done over the past week just showing this thing now that I've got it reassembled. It's been taken apart for quite some time, actually since probably about April of this year. And it's been freshly reassembled, all back to original condition, plus some FU-tone upgrades. Lots of stuff on here. I've got all the titanium stuff, the stainless steel stuff, the brass block on the back, all the goodies. Thing plays almost just under $1 million. I'll say $1 million in a few days. It's playing phenomenal. Got one little fret buzz that's driving me crazy. It's one of those things where you know right where it's at. I think it's on the 12th fret on the B string. Acoustically, you can hear it. You probably can't hear that right now, but through the amp, you don't really hear it. It's a never-ending battle. I mean, with the Floyd Rose, getting the Floyd the right height, getting the neck shimmed properly, not shimmed, but you know, the bow to it or no bow, whatever, adjusting the truss rod, getting everything in line. But I'm getting very, very happy with this thing. Hey, Billy Shelton, good talking to you earlier there today, buddy. And a big shout out to Joe Wentz too. Joe enjoyed your show today, short one, but it was really cool. Nice chatting with you. And so I'm going to play a little bit of a few samples on here. I'm going to do the clean channel. I'm going to go through my whole gamut. I've also been using the EVH 5150 overdrive a lot lately, to the point where I'm getting addicted to it. I'm going to show you that one in a moment as well. So let's just try some of the clean settings on here and I'll show you what we got. Okay, I gotta roll my mic up 1 second. Sorry about that. Here we go. Playing that riff a little bit past few days. That's something I've written probably 25 years ago. One of the first songs I wrote, more than that actually, just as a teenager. Back, you can tell I was back in the Dawkins days in the 80s, kind of shred stuff. I'm going to show you how that sounds, the rest of that song. It's a song I had written called Dreams, and hopefully someday I'll finish it. I'm going to kick off the extra delays. I had 2 delays on there, and I'm going to turn off my chorus. I'm going to give you a little bit of a sample of what it sounds like with the 5150 overdrive. So I'm going to roll my vocal microphone back here and we're going to go over to the overdrive. Tell me what you think of this. go. I'm going to say hi to the people over on the side here in the chat. People popping in. Thanks for popping in, guys. This was a unorthodox and unscheduled jam. You know, my shows usually aren't until Friday evening at 10 p.m., which I kindly invite you to check in. But let's say hi to everybody. Boy, got a lot of people jumping in. All my regulars, love you guys. Billy Shelton, hey. Michael Smith, hey buddy. Jared Frost, hey buddy, how you doing? Sinner, hey Sinner. That package hasn't come in yet. I checked the post office today, and I imagine we'll probably see it any day. I'll keep you posted on that. Caesar, hey Caesar. I could go for a Caesar right now. Kenny Bear and Longmire, 1962. And Billy Shelton saying it sounds good. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate the comments. Jared Frost definitely has a Dokken feel to it. Sounds great. Thank you. I appreciate that. I was probably listening to that a lot at that time. And probably what's got me back into playing it, I'm surrounding myself in George Lynch stuff right now. And it's just, I kind of got out of George for a long time, and I was looking for some new sources of inspiration. So I popped on some George Lynch stuff, downloaded some lessons of his, and I'm going to give those a bit of a roll too. So I want to kind of get in some different mindsets of guitar and see if I can work those little tidbits into mine as well too. Yeah, Michael says to Jared, he says you hit it with a Dokken sound, Jared. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm going to go over, that's what you were just hearing there a second ago was the 5150 overdrive. I'm going to kick that one off and show you what the 5150 back there sounds like on the blue channel. Then I'll go over to the lead channel. But people ask me all the time, do you really need this overdrive pedal with that amplifier? Not in the least, but it is really fun and it is practical. You can use it. If you buy this pedal or someone buys it for you for a gift, it's not going to be a wasted investment if you have that amplifier. You heard me playing it, and it sounds pretty cool. So let me change it over to the blue channel on the 5150 300 watt half stack. So there's a lot of the Boss 03 octave pedal in there. You can tell I like that one a lot. So that's fun. I've been playing with that thing a lot. Just got to be careful. That frequency gets a little low, and it might have actually been distorting the microphone here. I'm not 100% sure on that. But let's try that the overdrive there again, see what we can get with that one. A little bit of more lead stuff. All right, here we go. That's another riff of mine. Now it's off of my 5210 album from Finding Core. That one was called Fall Silent. It's got a bit of a Dokken feel to it too, I think, with the kind of like the Mr. Scary kind of thing in a way. A little bit like that. And of course you got to put in the... Love those. So we'll see what else got over here in the comments. Oh yeah, Michael Smith I think was asking me a little bit back there. He didn't remember if I had FU toned this one or not. So let's have a look and see what we got. On the back, we got the 37mm L block, the black noiseless springs. Looks like I could tighten up my Shaler strap locks here too, very, very loose. That could be a potential disaster. I like the black noiseless springs. I first got the red ones from Adam, but they're a heavier tension. And if you go on fu-tone.com, he has a bit of a breakdown on all the springs and lets you know exactly what each tension is like. I like to have 2 springs, and as you can see, I don't have much room left on my claw there. Right in there. There's not much left. I like it so I can actually take the whammy bar and do like kind of a couple finger. I hold my pick like this. Okay. Sometimes I'll balance it with my second finger when I'm playing, and I like to grab the whammy bar and be able to do like this. You know, like let me take off my tune here. I like the whammy bar nice and bouncy, kind of spongy I call it. So it's a real balancing act that way too. And I've got it also so you can't pull back on the bridge at all. I'm not sure if I can show you, but she's as flush can be, and no trem stopper on this one. No trem stopper, everything's working well. But also, Jared could appreciate this. I do have the fine tuner tension plate, the shim. I have it on this one as well. So that's also letting me keep the Floyd flush against the bridge. So that's also helping with the tuning stability. Let's go through a couple of the comments here. I didn't realize that. I didn't think I'd had this many people jumping in tonight, but it's really, really cool. I appreciate that. I'm about to go grab a coffee. I need a coffee, something fierce, and wake myself up. So yeah, Michael Sims asked me if we had the FU tone, and Jared, yes, he does. Thank you, Jared. And Jared's got the answer for me. And nice and crunchy in the mids. Yeah, I can never have enough mids. That EVH 5150 overdrive right now has the mids cranked, just like my BBE Sonic Stomp. I want to set that pedal and forget it, break the knobs off, and just turn it on. I could do the same thing with the overdrive, set the mids to full, pull the knob off, and just weld it shut, because I love that. I love that tone. Let me see what else we got here. Futone makes the guitar sound so full night and day. You got to hear this thing, like Darren Moore, who was on my hangout with us last Friday, and he had just FU-toned his, I think he got his Wolfgang, the Mexican Stealth. I think that's what he had just futoned, and he was saying how the acoustics of the guitar just jumped out, and I can attest to that. You probably can't hear this right now. It's very quiet, obviously, but the acoustics do jump out at you, and the sustain is here. That's the first noticeable thing you'll see. Watch my videos, the A/B shootout I did with the transparent purple burst after it's been futoned, and one that wasn't futoned. Watch Jared's video as well with his blue burst. You see his, and you just see the smile on his face when he hits that first chord with having the Futone products in there. It's amazing. Yeah, and like Jared is also saying, he says, I agree, Michael Smith, any guitar with a Floyd that I get from now on will be Futoned. Yeah, I've got a few waiting in the wings back there right now. I think the next one in line is the EVH Stripe, the black and white one. That's one of my dear favorites. Right now, I've been saying that Purple Standard is my favorite, and I think it still is. This one is guitar number 2, and these two right now are fighting. They're fighting back and forth for the prime location and prime spot. I forgot really how good this guitar was. Small stainless steel frets, a beautiful neck. It's actually got some real bird's eye to it, as opposed to the rock maple like the standards have. There's a big difference in price in them too. And it's nice. It's kind of a keepsake now as well too, because they don't make this one in Japan anymore. This one is obviously made in Mexico. It's got the arch top and things like that as well. This one doesn't, but the Mexican ones do. David Allen Wright, hey buddy, I should make him name that riff. So I'm not sure which one you're talking about. If you're talking about this one, I lost it now. If that's one you're talking about, that one is called Fall Silent. And if those of you that follow me on Facebook, I posted a video that I shot just before we kind of killed the band. In other words, we shut the band down, and it was just we didn't have the bass player in the video. It's just me, the drummer, and the singer. It's kind of cool, and we were obviously lip syncing to it. Bag Cereal says, I might be doing the Axis after hearing everyone positive and great sounding guitars. I'm telling you, you don't have to take my word for it. There's enough of us all now saying the same word. Check out Futon stuff. Adam is a great guy to talk to for pre-sales questions, and he'll help you get the right stuff. It's almost like going into IKEA and buying a room for your house. You could contact Adam and you say, okay, I want this and this and this. He's going to give you everything that you need to make that guitar just a scorching axe. And Jared saying, Bubba James says, nice riffing. Thanks, buddy. And Bubba, thanks for trading some music with me the other day. I've got your stuff flagged. I've got it in my Dropbox so I can actually listen to it at work as well now. I can share it at work because I haven't had a chance to listen to it. Thank you for the kind words that you sent on my music. It means a lot to me. And I did play a couple riffs of yours, and it's heavier than my stuff, and it's going to be nice to kind of kick me in the butt. Listen to it tomorrow morning with a coffee, and that'll get my morning going for sure. Thank you on that one. Jared says the fine tuner tension plate does help with it resting on the body. Yeah, I like it personally. I know Adam has told me, and he's told others, you don't need it, take it off. And that and the actual shim, you can take either off. So I've done it both ways. I've done it with, I've kept the fine tuner tension plate on. And if people don't know what that means, that's a little thing in the back underneath each one of the fine tuners. And they look like little fingers, little forks, and they're springy. And all that does is kind of help keep tension against the fine tuner, but you don't really need it. And there's people online and forums arguing back and forth saying you have to have it. No, you don't. And a lot of the guitars, you'll notice, you don't even have them on here. Like this one here doesn't have the fine tuner tension on the low E string. The only downside of not having that is if I'm holding my neck up like this and I do a whammy bar dive completely down, my D tuner will pop out to back to D. So I could be embarrassed if I was to hit an E chord and I've got a D now. So you just have to reach down real quick and throw your D tuner back in. You're fine. But in this case, the fine tuner tension plate is on here, and I do have the shim. We're just talking about a millimeter or so. It's about a thickness of a guitar pick, but that extra little piece, in my opinion, will help with that weird issue I was having on the standard. Remember that way back I was having tuning instabilities? And we'll just see. I might be a liar. Let's try and find out. I would hit an A string like that, and I would disengage or engage the D tuner, and the whole guitar would go sharp. So there, that's perfect. You couldn't ask for better. Watch this. That is as flawless will get. I think that's even better than my standard. Let's try that again. I'll try it on a clean tone so you can hear it better. Okay, so D tuner is disengaged, so it's in E. And if you're hearing any imperfections there at all, that could just be me rocking the bridge a tiny bit. It's dead solid, so no tuning stability issues with that at all. So Jared, I'm happy on that one. You know how crazy I was going for a while on that. I will jump over to the lead channel, have some more fun just for a minute, and then I'll let you guys get off to your Tuesday evening, all right? Let's have a look over on the lead channel. These are all riffs of mine, by the way, too. These are all my own songs between various versions of Finding Core, my old band. Get rid of that little bit of that hiss from the amp. And you know what's pretty cool? You can probably hear this right now. Hear that hum and a little bit of hiss, high-end whine. Watch when I pop on my Boss NS2 noise suppressor. You ready for this? How's that? How's that? Now you can see why I like that Boss NS2 noise suppressor. Take it back off. And on. I let it ring a little bit. Absolutely quiet. And it's not gating my tone completely down. If I was to hit a chord right now, listen to the sustain. Still rings. And it just chops the noise. I love that pedal. A lot of guitar players will say, you spend like $100 some odd for something that just takes away noise. Do you know how important it is not to have noise? Very, very cool. So I love that pedal. A few more comments on the side here as well. David Allen says, that riff sounds like Y&T Black Tiger in some ways. I'll have to listen to that. I haven't listened to those guys in forever. So let's get my head around those guys a little bit too. Jared says, I FU toned my acoustic. I installed the brass string pins. On a $200 acoustic. I would put that up against anything in the higher price range. And Mark Hizansky did too as well. He was showing us that on the Hangout. So I got to get some of that for my Washburn back there. I'm really anxious to hear that. If it does what it does for electric guitars, I'm sold on that for sure. I'm going to get some from Adam right away. And Bubba, you know my songs. Right on. Right on. Bubba knows my songs because he's got my records. That one I was playing here, it kind of sounds like Tool. That's the title track from our album Silence. That record there is not a lot of crazy guitar on it, and I really, really liked our songwriter, our singer in that band, Todd Lenover was his name. Probably the best songwriter I've ever worked with, and was probably overall the best guy for our band as far as lead vocalists. We had 3 or 4 of them. But there's some good songwriting on that album. And a lot of the guitar riffs I did on that were probably, even though they're not crazy flashy, I think there's 2 or 3 songs on the album. One was called Only You, and that's got some really crazy, Bubba, you know that one. It goes like a... Some stuff like that, some flashy guitar on that. That's the only time I really cut loose on that one. But there's another song in there, a lot of little neat intricacies, and I'm kind of proud of them now because they're not a million notes per second. There's one song called In the Sun. I'm going to play a little bit of that one, and it's clean. And it's like a happy song. It kind of goes like this. I guess I'll play it kind of distorted. Their main riff goes like this. Like that, and it's just a really cheesy little guitar solo part. Just it's more poppy, right? But like this. That was pretty bad. More like this. Ah, darn it. I like that. And then a really cool part in the breakdown of it, there's a part where I'm using a Line 6, I think they called it a Variax, if I'm not mistaken, one of the very first Line 6 modeling guitars. And it had everything from a Rickenbacker to a bunch of different things. There's 12 strings, some Beatles stuff, but kind of sounds, all that kind of neat stuff. So I'll go to my clean channel and show you what I did there. Okay, I'm going to put on the chorus, and I'll use a bit of phaser. Okay, so this is neat. This would be the bridge in the song, and picture this with a bit of a sitar type of a sound to it. I really liked it. That's terrible. Want to try it again? And I'll try that distorted too, because I did play it distorted once in a while and just roll the volume back. You know, in the live environment, there's a different feel, right? So let's try that. That's absolutely horrible. Try it again. Now I'll take off the phaser too. See, I make lots of mistakes. Everyone does. So there you go, some of that one. Two of the other riffs that Bubba has, I sent him some of my music. And if you want some of my music for absolutely free, two things you can do. Go to soundcloud.com/Eric Broadbent Solo. All my stuff is on there. There's even some stuff I haven't even released. And if you want, like I did with Bubba, I was more than happy to send them a zip file of it. I'll send you a Dropbox link and you can download my music. Just give me a shout out if you like it. But two songs that I sent Bubba as a bonus that really was never on an album per se. It wasn't a movie. It was an action movie soundtrack. Was very honored to have that happen to me. I'm thinking back around 2010-ish, if that sounds around right. It was in a movie called A Case of Deceit, kind of a cop movie, really cool kind of action movie. And the band members that were with me at the time, the new singer and the new drummer, they weren't part of those songs. But they did accompany me and the bass player down to Toronto. We got to go down in style to the movies down there on the big screen and watch the movie like with all the actors and everything. It was really cool, and it was neat. The producers of the movie had said we're going to use both your songs in the soundtrack. Some were cool, and the one song was "Loaded Gun," and that's one that you hear on the intro to my my videos. Every single video you see me do it. So this one. So that one was that wasn't a key part of the movie, and then the movie's almost done. We're watching it, and like of course we all had goosebumps on our arms hearing our song on the big screen. It's cool, big theater, big sound. And I'm thinking, okay, well they said we're gonna have both songs in the movie, but apparently we're not gonna have the second one. The guys in the band were looking at me like, I was like, guys, I know that's what they said. They said two songs. So all of a sudden, they have this love scene, whatever, kissy scene at the end, whatever, and then all of a sudden the credits start to roll, and the minute the first credit comes up, there's the ballad song of mine. And I was like, oh my God, we couldn't have had a better spot in the movie, just to, the most dramatic part of the movie, and then all of a sudden your song comes on, and that's one called Pass You By. I'll play a little bit of that one. It's this is a real nice ballad, and it also has some nice guitar in it too. Let me show you that one real quick. Get over to the clean channel. Nice and clean. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll roll my vocal mic back so it sounds a little better. You're not hearing, the extra stuff in the room here. It'll probably sound a little nicer. Totally mess up my own solo. There's a nice little break coming in from verse to verse, something like this. Yeah, that's it. Try that again, more delay. And then there's a really cool lead part. The main lead in that song is what I really like. Here again, nothing fancy whatsoever, but unless the song calls for it, and a lot of songs don't really call for screaming guitar solos. If they work, they work. Some songs call for no guitar solos. But I'll see if I can remember the main lead part for Pass You By. It was something like along this nature. My favorite part right here. Play that one more time just because I like it so much. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, that's just some more of my own original music. It's fun to do that stuff sometimes, 'cause at least I don't really screw that up too bad. Not as bad as some of the Van Halen stuff. Okay, I'm going to go over a few more comments, and I'm going to jet, guys. I'm in dire need of a coffee or a cold drink, one of the two. And let's go back a little bit. Bubba was talking about silence, and Michael Smith saying he loves his Japanese special. As you can tell, I do as well. Great guitar. Dead silence. Yep, for sure. Let me see. For sure, good songs, solid writing. Thank you, Bubba. And I can't take all the credit for that. That was co-written with, like I say, with Todd Lenover. And I think I just saw, I'm seeing some M's pop up. Mr. Mark Kazansky's in the house. I had to get that for my boy. I'm way too old to sound hip. Sorry about that. I wish I could edit that out. But anyways, Mark's here. Sweet. Mark's Classic Comics Discussion. Hey, buddy. Michael Smith says he's listening on SoundCloud. Really liked your band. Thank you. Appreciate that. David Allen Wright says, my practice amp is a first year Johnson Millennium, has all the modeling settings and does stereo. Very, very cool. I'd like to check that out. That'd be neat. Some of those, I'm not a fan of modeling amps per se, but I do like them for a practice environment. They're great because you could bring a guitar cable and the amp, and you don't have to bring anything else, and you can get kind of your home sound, which is nice, or sound like the big rigs and only have one thing. Very cool, Dave. I'll check that one out. Michael Smith says, you must have been totally in amazement listening to playing coming out of the professional movie theater. Too cool. It was very, very cool. It was a moment I'll never forget. Probably one of the biggest highlights of my musical career. One of them for sure, a pinnacle, that's for sure. Mark's Classic Comics Discussion buddy says, hey buddy, sounds great. I need help from you on the delay settings. No problem. In case anybody's wondering what I am using for the delay, I may have kind of alluded to it before. I'm using two Boss DD3 delays, one at about 250 some odd milliseconds. Let me turn on the microphone back there at the 5150, and I'll give you an idea what that one sounds like. Here's a chord. Sounds like a little bit out of tune now too, but so more of a slap. Okay, it's good for Van Halen. If I try that. Horrible playing. Okay, that's the 250. I'm not 100% sure what the other one set at. Just a little bit more in time. It's probably around 400-ish. That's a big one. That's good for the... Or these. Or these. So that's what those are good for. So yeah, Mark, I'll be more than happy to help you with that. I run those through the loop of the 5150 or through the lunchbox, whichever amp I'm playing through. I use the Boss noise suppressor. Now, using the Boss noise suppressor, and I put the noise suppressor last in that loop of the chain. If you have, let's say, your feedback, or I shouldn't say your feedback, yeah, maybe feedback as well, your feedback and your effects level of the delay. Let's say you had them, for argument's sake, both your level was maybe about 9 o'clock position, and your feedback was about the 9 o'clock position. By using the Boss NS2 or any type of a gating system, you're going to want to bring that level up a little bit. I'm not saying drastically. Maybe bring it to the 10 o'clock position, and same on the amount of feedback and things like that as well too, because you're going to lose just a tiny bit in with the way the noise gate works. I'll see if I can give you an example. Not in the long delay, because long delay will be harder to test. I'll go a shorter delay, and I'll turn the noise gate off. Noise suppressor, I should say. It's not a gate. Okay, so here we go. I'll just hit a note. Okay, now I'll put on the noise suppressor. First thing you notice, so notice the difference in the sound? I'm sure you can hear that hiss, and noise, hum, it's hum. Everything contributes to that. The monitors, the lights, the fan that's running over here, the voltage lines, everything contributes to that. Noise suppressor on. That's music to my ears right there. So you're noticing it's not chopping off the reverb. If anything on the delay, it's just taking just minor bits. So just be a little diligent on the effects levels. Bring them up just a tiny bit more. And like I said too, with my noise suppressor, I don't like to clamp it down tight. I let it so as soon as it's almost like put it this way, put a helium balloon into the air with just enough helium to make it float. Okay, it's not going to float away. As soon as it gets up there, it's kind of defying its mass. It's defying, it can't go any higher, any lower. It's just hovering right there. That's the way I like to try to work with my sound with my noise suppressor. Don't want to gate, don't want it completely off. I just want to let it so it grabs the guitar when there's nothing there, and then holds it, and then the minute it hears anything at the slightest frequency, lets go and lets the audio come through. So I could technically just even... Okay, let's go lots of volume. Now watch if I did that without the noise suppressor. One more time with it. I tell you, that pedal is worth $1 million to me as well. So I'm going to go over the comments here, guys, and I am going to jet. Thank you for being so kind to me tonight for all the beautiful comments and feedback. Let me see here. Go back to Mark's. So the delays, yes, I'd be more than happy to help you on that. Bag Serious has great sounding songs. And Bubba James says, got to run my bands on Metal Moose tonight. Rock on. Hey, that's awesome. I'm not sure what that show is. I apologize for not knowing that. I assume that's a good thing, so very proud of you. Go enjoy with your family and your band. Very, very cool. And Mark's Classic says, what do you think of Fractal? I'm a fan of them overall. Never played with one. I know a lot of guys on here use them. And I think our friend Bob Shaleski, who's been joining our panel a couple times, I think he has one. I'm almost positive he does. And I know it's one of the people in our circle and was raving about it. So I'll have to look into that, Mark. I don't like to use too many rack effects. Back in the day I did. Right now I have no rack effects. The only thing I have back there in that rack is a wireless and a noise Furman power conditioner, and then I also have another rack power supply. They're isolated kind of ceramic circuitry, whatever, ceramic, jacks and stuff like that, supposed to give a nice clean isolated signal for everything you plug into it. But I'm not a real fan of rack effects per se. Wouldn't mind getting a Rocktron and Teleflex in the near future. I had one of those before, just for the hush and the pitch detune. Do some of that, Sammy Hagar era Van Halen stuff. Let me see, Michael Smith. Have a Vox DA20 modeling practice amp. Runs on batteries. You can plug it in. Really cool. I'd like to check that out. Battery is way cool. Take it to the beach, campfire, all that kind of stuff. I love that idea. And David Allen says, have you thought of building an isolation cabinet so you can crank it adjustable? I am researching designs. No, I haven't really yet. It'd be very, very cool because then, for testing some amplifiers and stuff, I could just whale it to the cows come home. I'm good here. I have a big house, so I don't have to worry about bothering neighbors too much. But if I ever want to do some, real recording or real testing, that'd be great, Dave. Yeah, I should look into that. And Marcus Classic says, Mark Krasinski says, thanks, bro. Help me with the delay stuff. Guys, I'm going to let you fly. I didn't have anything scheduled for tonight. Just want to jump in and really show off my love of this guitar and just a feel-good day. And invite you to come join us on Friday night, 10 p.m. I think Mark's going to be joining me again. We've got Ronnie Higgins joining us, I believe. And Dave Lucy, I think, is in the house. And there might be room for a couple others. And working on the agenda as we speak. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week and really look forward to seeing you on Friday. And just before we go, Sinner says, I would like to get an ADA MP1 just for fun. Yeah, I did have one of those back in the day. The preamp, it was pretty cool. That was like everybody was using those for a while. It was like kind of the de facto standard. And I think the Marshall JMP1, does that sound right? The Marshall's preamp, that was pretty awesome. I know a lot of guys were running that into PV. I want to say, was it the Classic 6060 or something like that? It was a tube power amp, 6060, a Classic 60. It sounds familiar to me. I could be wrong on that, but that's what a lot of guys were doing. And Michael Smith says, great impromptu hangout, Eric, and all. Enjoy the night, buddy. Yeah, everyone enjoy your night. Thanks so much. And you know what? Going through my comments I've been getting through feedback and YouTube and stuff like that, it's awesome. Like, you guys dig this stuff. And I really like bringing it to you. It's more fun to me than ever playing in a band. And I'm trying to keep my chops up, so when I'm playing something for you, I don't sound like a chump. And when you guys are asking me some questions, I try to have all the answers for you. And if I don't, I go get them. And speaking of which, I talked to my reps at EVH Gear today, and they've got some stuff coming my way. The final little piece of the puzzle for a prize package that I'm giving away. Just give you a real quick update on that, and I am going to let you go. I promise. I'm holding you hostage right now. I'm going to let you go. The negotiators here, we're going to get out of this hostage negotiation right away. Got some cool prize packages I'm going to be giving away on my website. It's going to be a big contest. There's stuff from VanHalenStore.com. There's stuff from Futone, great stuff from Futone. Stuff from Dava Picks. Jody from Pedal Snake today, who joined us last week on the show, he's also told us he's going to give us $100 towards a person's Pedal Snake purchase. And $100 goes a very long way. Trust me on that. So, I hopefully it's a guitar player that wins this. If not, please make sure whoever wins this the prize that we're going to be giving away, give it to a guitar player, because the Pedal Snake is great to have. $100 will go a long way. So there'll be a $100 gift certificate from Pedal Snake. And like I say, EVH Gear's got some goodies coming. They didn't tell me what it is, but it's going to be from EVH Gear headquarters themselves. So it's going to be very, very cool. I'm giving it all away for free, no catch. I just want you to like me on the social media, subscribe on YouTube and all that jazz. So guys, have a fantastic evening. I'm going to cut over to my little boy, little Eric, and this is my new outro. Well, it's actually not my new outro. I just like to say, hey, what is your name and what are you playing? Cheers.
My name is Eric and I'm playing Wolfgang guitar.